Ricky Bottalico, Phillies pre- and post-game live on NBC Sports Philadelphia, joins us here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline as the Phillies get ready to take on the Mets this weekend. Ricky Bo, welcome back to the show, man.
Oh, thanks for having me on. Sorry, I'm a little late. I had a meeting.
That's all right.
Off as quick as I can, so
well, the Phillies, they were a little late, too. They got off to a good start, then they started to play poorly. Now they're starting to play some better baseball, and they're really settling in. But I want to pick your brain a little bit on some of the reasons that they've been playing so much better is that pitching, which was good early, then started to fade. But Aaron Nola, Arrieta at the top of that rotation seems like that formula could keep this team around all summer.
Well, you know what? When you really look at this team, I think that's the first thing you looked at the beginning of the season was, okay, we have Nola, we have Arrieta. Who could fill in behind them? I think you knew those two, the 1 and 2 spots, were going to be very solid, which they are. I mean, every time I don't know how you guys feel, but every time Nola goes out there, I pretty much am penciling in a win before he steps on the mound. And the reason why I say that is because his bad games are good games. And you don't see that, especially in a guy who's only been around as long as he has. And then Arrieta, he is who he is. Look, he had, one bad game against the Marlins last week. And besides that, I think he's been very solid. So, yeah, you got the two solid starters. I love what Eflin has done since he's come up. You can't fault him for anything he's done. Velasquez, look, he's still that guy who has his ups and his downs. Yesterday was a big key for me. It showed maturity to me because reason being he gave up 3 runs early and he settled in and just pitched and didn't think about what had already happened. This is a guy that has had trouble looking forward in the past. Now all of a sudden it seems like he may have gotten over a hump. And I do go to the coaching staff on that because I think that this could have been beaten a couple of years ago. But now all of a sudden this guy's got it going on. And, you got Eichhoff coming off the disabled list soon. Who knows what's going to happen there? It is what it is. The Phillies starting pitching staff has been very good, and the bullpen has been adequate. And I think that's as advertised. And that's why they are where they are. I mean, different heroes every night. That's what it's all about.
Hey, Ricky, when do you think Nola elevated himself to a legit ace? He's statistically one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Would you call him a legitimate ace?
All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Can you think of 30 guys that in the major leagues, 30 starting pitchers that you'd rather have on the mound in front of him?
No.
Well, I guess that answers everybody's question because, yes, he is legitimate top of the starting pitching rotation, no doubt in my mind. And what has made him get there, I think he just doesn't care. He's a stone face. I don't mean he doesn't care about pitching because I think he prepares very well. But, I mean, in the sense that, if something goes wrong, I'm just going to fix it while the game goes on. And to me, that's the biggest key of a baseball player is being able to stop what you're doing, think about what you're doing, and readjust within a game. And he's one of those guys that's special that can do that. I mean, I've seen him go out there and have horrible first innings, and then he's Cy Young the rest of the way out. And speaking of Cy Young, don't count him out because this guy, to me, he's legit. He may not be a 12 strikeout guy every time out, but he knows exactly what he's doing on the mound, and he's going to limit damage. And that's the bottom line.
I saw that he's going to the changeup more. How much has that pitch helped him become a more complete pitcher?
Well, he had a changeup, but now he's got a real good changeup. I mean, when you have a nasty curveball like he does, and you could locate a 4 and 2 seam fastball, and then all of a sudden you mix in a changeup that has 6 to 8 inches of downward movement on it, that's going to help anybody. I watch him, and I get mesmerized sometimes. Look, there were certain guys in the past who I love to watch. I mean, Roy Halladay, obviously one of them. But, I mean, this guy just goes out and competes every batter he's facing. And sometimes he just makes it look so easy. You look at that changeup, and he's not only throwing it to lefties, but he's throwing it down and into right-handers. And I know it's kind of a weird thing that in the past it was like it was bad to throw a changeup to right-handed hitters if you're a right-handed pitcher. But I think it's an extremely effective pitch, especially for him, because when you could throw 94, 95 up top of the strike zone, and then you have a sinker that could go away to a right-handed hitter that cuts back in on the outside corner, and then you have a changeup that looks like a fastball and it's diving into you. You're in a lot of trouble if you're a hitter. So any type of arsenal that you could add is a good one for him.
Ricky Bottalico's with us here. Phillies getting ready to play the Mets. And how about the hitters? I mean, Franco, 282, 7 homers, leads the team in homers, RBIs. And then another guy, I mean, I wasn't a huge Odubel Herrera guy for whatever reason, but I guess the proof is in the pudding that I might be wrong about him.
Well, I think we all agree that Odubel's, how do I put this, his characteristics, his little things that he used to do on the field, some dumb play at times, I think that aggravated fans, aggravated media, aggravated everybody. Well, when you think back to his last mistake in center field when he didn't go get a ball in center field and Aaron Nola had to take it and throw it to home plate, I look at that because he went out there the next inning. He was apologizing to his own teammates. So what does that tell you? That tells you that he's matured. And I don't think anybody would look at his play, and I'm putting quotes up, his play on the field is second to none. He could hit. He's been extremely disciplined at the plate this year, which is different than in years past. So whatever it is, whether it be the coaching staff or the individual, this team is making adjustments in game and on the fly. So if Odubel Herrera could stay out of his own head and his own mind with those plays in the outfield or base running mistakes, it makes him a tremendous player. I mean, this guy flat out could play, and he flat out could hit the baseball with the best of them.
One thing, you were a closer, back end of the bullpen guy. What do you think of this team's bullpen? Because so much in today's game, yeah, we talked about the starters, and they've got some nice starting pitching, but so much of today's game is that bullpen. Do you like the makeup? We know they have no lefty in there, but Neris and Hunter and, this group of guys
and
that they've kind of thrown together.
Anthony Dominguez.
Yeah, I love the Dominguez guy. My God, are you kidding me? The one thing, let's start with him, because I watch him. He's 97 to 100, basically. Good fastball, very good slider. But the one thing that separates him from everybody else is that he is a guy that goes out there with no fear. That's exactly what you want in the back end of the bullpen, right? No fear. Well, I look at some other guys, and I'll take a ride around. Tommy Hunter will be Tommy Hunter, but at some point here, he hasn't been the greatest that we've seen. I look at Hector Neris. All right, I think he throws too many split fingers, and he falls in love with a pitch. I really believe that he has to start announcing his presence with his fastball and then pitch off of that. If he can do that, I think he'll be extremely effective in the closer's role. If he continues to throw split after split after split, like we saw on Sunday, becomes a little bit of a problem. And, you talk about no lefties in the bullpen. I think it's an issue. I think Hobie Milner should be back here. That's what I think.
Ricky, I thought you were going to go Nuke LaLoosh on us and say, I want to announce my presence with authority.
No, I started to, but I got off of that a little bit.
All right, Phillies and the Mets this weekend, a lot of fun, and we'll see if the Phillies, who are just a half game back, if they can give us an entertaining weekend and an entertaining summer, because so far the Sixers, the Eagles did it, the Sixers did it. We'll see if the Phillies can follow suit. Ricky Bottalico, NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post-game with the Phillies talk here on the Sports Bash. Thanks, Ricky.
All right, take it easy, guys.